Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And hi, love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious, and that life is treating you most deliciously. Please keep a handle on it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, my juice little lights. Thank you, little lights. You're delicious and bright. Yeah, lots of silver. Silver lady. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, what have I got for you today? So, the time is, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So, it is, shut up. Okay, so it's nearly 25 to 5 in the evening, my delicious little babies, in our old England. Okay, and, well, we've had snow. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, as much as I love the snow, I'm going to be honest, I'm not liking this weather. Okay, my delicious little babies. I'm not one to go skiing. You know, we know a lot who, there we are, went skiing. You know what I mean? Like in Switzerland and places like that. There we are, my delicious little babies. Okay, I'm really not one for that kind of weather. Okay, so one's more like to let's just join the dots, going fluffy little snow, but I do not. Okay, I myself prefer, there we are, the sunshine. So it has been sunshining, but there's not been much melting. It sort of melts in certain places. How can you have at the back of myself where all of the rooftops melt, and then when you look at the other side at the front of me, the rooftops still stay frosty? How does that work then, my delicious babies? I'm just asking a question. There we are. I'm just asking a question, that's all. Okay, my delicious babies, now then. So I do have a number of videos for you today. Okay. Now, how many do I have? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, look at that. 5, 7. Okay, my delicious little babies. I may be short at maths, but I know, there we are, how to add up 6 and let's just say +1. So that makes 7, doesn't it? But then I also know how to add up 10 plus 7. And that's going to lead me to the first video, my delicious little babies. Okay, so 10 and 7, there we are, equals 17, doesn't it, my delicious little babies? Let's go to the first one. Where are you? There we go. This uploader happens now. I have advertised him once before, and with anybody not in that way, apart from one anyway. This uploader happens to have 31.7 thousand subscribers. My delicious little baby's just going over the dot. And okay. Oh, I forgot to put his flipping name, haven't I? I did advertise him before, you know. Anyway, all you have to type in, my delicious little babies, I don't know, you know, every now and again, there we are, just do that, you know what I mean? It's genuine, I just do that. It's just some reason I miss out the uploader. But I'm sure you'll be able to find it, my delicious little babies. If you was to type in into the old YouTube, they're all on YouTube, my delicious little babies. That doesn't mean no. 8k a month, so it's like the English pound sign. 8k a month, question mark, I always put 2. Okay, yes please, ... but at what cost? Okay, my delicious baby, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? 8K a month, you know, with the English pound sign, question mark, I always put 2. Yes, please, ... but at what cost? Sorry, missed that part out. Question mark, another 2 question marks, usually 1. This is just over 5.5 minutes long, my delicious babies. Now, what this is talking about, and if you was to click onto his where it says more, it should then lead you to somewhere else. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, what this is talking about is 8,333 squids a month. Ka-ching, ching, ching. Is it for 20 year? I think it's for 20 year. Well, actually, if you add up 1 year, my delicious little babies, okay, and then you times that by, if it's 20 year, okay, so you're going to come up, there we are, with a substantial figure. Okay, my delicious little babies, but what your man here is saying as an uploader is, what is the cost? So in other words, what is the cost? If you're getting paid 8,333, well, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That was a very interesting number to come up with, my delicious babies, because it's, there we are, 17. So we have to look at the numbers. 3. They don't like you to talk about the number 4 very often, and they do not like you to talk about the number 7 very often, and they do not like you to talk about the number 8 very often, but they happen to like the number 3. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12. Then you could have 15. That comes to 6 again. But this is 17. They happen to like the number 17. There we are as well. My delicious babies. Okay, so they like, there we are, certain numbers. They love the number 33. They love the number 45. And of course, they love the number 47. You know, in Born in the USA. You know, they tend to go on different numbers. Okay, my delicious babies. Okay. But I have been noticing over these years that they do happen to like, you know, like when I used to do my readings, where I used to say where, you know, could come to 10, but it could be, you know, you're at 1 at oneself, so you miss out the 0 because we don't want any zeros, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? And you come to 1, which means being with oneself, being in one's heart, okay? So I have noticed that they'll add 8 and 2 together, okay? So I have been noticing over the years, Martin, maybe they're catching up. There we are, maybe they're catching up with us, you know what I mean? Martin, babies, yes. Now then, very interesting video to take a listen to. Now, me personally, if somebody was offering me over £8,000 a month, I must be honest with you, my delicious little babies, I must be honest. And if it was a 20 year, which, come on, let's break it down. If they changed or moved the goalpost, that could then become 2 year. So if everybody, I'm not talking about what this dear uploader said. That's just what came into my noddle. So therefore, if, say, for example, you could say, oh yeah, I've signed up for 20 year of this. I mean, imagine how much ka-ching you could make. Imagine how off-grid, there we are, you could do things, you know. You could, let's just say, you could live like, does everybody ever remember that, I never needed to stumble there, that series called Little House on a Prairie? Because I remember it when I was young. I'm 52, my delicious babies. Well, everybody could live really beautifully, you know, if everybody got together, got some land and everything like this now, then everybody knows what they're doing, you know. You could go back in time, you know what I mean? Just like, what is it, Culture Club? Time won't give me time. Do you know what I mean? Or could it be Culture Club? Come, 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 chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Loving would be easy if your colors were like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Okay? So what am I saying to you, my delicious babies? If everybody got together, okay, Culture Club at that time with the songs, my delicious babies, remember the purple, okay, they were teaching, there we are, at that time. But because we were in the pop era, okay, many at the time was not paying attention, myself included, okay. But if you really look at it, just over £8,000 a month. Okay, well, there we are. That could buy a lot of, that doesn't include when they're to our farmland now and to all our beautiful countrysides in England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and beyond, where they keep sticking solar panels. You know what I mean? But if everybody got together with all the ka-ching, 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 there we are. It could work. There we are. It could work. But it's a very good idea. In some ways, it's a good idea, there we are, to who put the video out. And this is, there we are, a very good feeling. But let's go back to the two. So when they say 20 year, okay, you know what our putrid governments are like, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? What they tend to do now then is they tend to just change rules, change laws, you know, and then they sort of get a little bit, comfortable with it. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? And what ones have, there we are, slightly stumbled there, signed up for, could end up only really getting, there we are, 2 year, there we are, instead of 20. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? I did a shorty video, remember the voice box? I remember doing a shorty video where I said, you know, remember the Paps? Yeah, I've been hearing on our lovely dear UK column, you know, with anybody, like I said, not in that way, not in that way. Yes, it turns out that Big Ben's been repaired and now Parliament needs sorting out and it's going to cost billions. Okay, I know plenty of plumbers. Okay, I know plenty of, you know, well, I have done over the years anyway. Okay, they're very hard to get hold of these days. Plenty of plumbers, plenty of electrical engineers, plenty of what do they call them? Who can do all the conduit and all this business now and all the wires, okay? Plenty of everything, my delicious bad carpenters. Plenty of carpenters over the years, my delicious babies. So how on earth would it come to damn well billions? Maybe you all need to go on to our lovely UK column, my delicious babies, and, you know, please take a listen. I'm not sure where they're getting that from. To myself, it seems to myself, there's a lot of, anyone could say billions, you know, ching, ching, ching. But in reality, you know what I mean? It's, let's just say, could there be funneling, ching, 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 and a bit of money laundering going on there now then? After all, they did it with, what was it called? Was that train service? Is it the HS2 or whatever it's bloody well called? Anyway, the HM2, HS2. No, we've got a lot of HMOs. Am I getting confused? Am I getting confused with what's going on? HMOs. Then you had that HS2, you know, in the countryside where everybody was dead set against it. But these little effers now, there we are, they wanted to proceed with it. It's a bit like China. So what they do in China, my delicious babies, okay, they a quarter of the build something, okay? Everybody has to comply. Everybody has to do everything now then. Jesus to me. And then F all gets done, my delicious babies, okay? And you can follow my rhythm, can't you? Rhythm is a dancer, it's a source of living. You can feel it everywhere. What year was that song now, Delicious Little Babies? I make up my own words as I go along, you know what I mean? There we are, the words that I choose to put into a song. Now then, but nevertheless, you know, good singers, you know what I mean, in their day, you know what I mean? But they were themselves, there we are, for a lot of singers, unless you followed the leaders, you were peeing against the wind, man, then. Because they didn't want to know unless you was going to go the whole hog, you know, like Madonna. Like a virgin, hey, touch for the very first time. Like a virgin, when your heart beats next to mine. Yeah, we know all about that, don't we, my delicious little babies? You know what I mean, yes. Anyway, so let's go on to the next one. Listen, I cannot resist this. So I've got my little Dotty socks here. Dotty. Lots of different colours. Red and yellow. And I don't have any pink and green. I do not have any orange and purple and blue. I have purple with my pen. So maybe there's a few colours missing the rainbow. You know what I mean, my delicious babies. Anyway, so here's me pair of Dotty socks, which are red, yellow, a little bit of turquoise, grey, yeah, and white. My delicious little babies. So what we're going to do, my delicious little babies. So I need to keep going, there we are, through this with you all, my delicious little babies, just so that you get it. So it's, you get a pair of socks together, and then you fold one, fold two, fold three, fold four, fold five, and then you take the outside. You can take the inside, but I prefer to take, there we are, to take the outside. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? And then over we go. And there's your pair of, you're in the army now. Whoa, whoa, you're in the army now. Does that lead me to my next video, my delicious little babies? I think it does, you know. I really feel it does. So let's go to this uploader. Now happens to have 1.48 million subscribers, my delicious little babies, on YouTube. This uploader, I remember when I advertised them, the number was nowhere near this number, my delicious little babies, kind. But won't be tired. You never believe this. There we are. They've come back up on my feed, my delicious little babies, and I really feel that you need to listen to this. There we are, this video, my delicious little babies, kind. So the uploader's called, in your space bar, in old YouTube, my delicious little babies, I've space had it, you know, lowercase h, and then lowercase r, you know, little writing, you know what I mean, my delicious babies. I'll repeat that again for you. This is the uploader, I've space had space it, yes. Okay, this video is just over 20 minutes long, and the video should read IHIP news. Trump's secret plan for Venezuelan war exposed. He's lost all control. Okay, my delicious babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? IHIP news, Trump's secret plan for Venezuelan war exposed. He's lost all control. Yeah, I would say, Mads Little Babies, it's a very good, there we are, video to listen to. Okay, Mads Little Babies. So when I advertised this channel, okay, whether ones want to agree or disagree, I'd say, there we are, they would agree. Okay, because whoever I advertise, okay, their numbers, there we are, usually go up. Now, the ones that tend to not go up as much, and I've noticed that over these years, Martish Babies, the ones who tend to not go up as much, okay, are the ones that either YouTube, okay, there we are, or, you know, who's bing, 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 pushing their buttons now, okay? They're not a gelling with. Okay, my little babies, when they know full well, there we are, they could get double. There we are, but they choose to stick them to where they want to stick them to. And that's how it works, my delicious little babies. This is how they operate. Do you see what I mean? That's why my video now will take hours upon hours upon hours upon hours to upload. And then, well, I can upload it. Well, as far as I know at the moment, my little babies, I'm not too sure these days. But the fact of the matter is, it'll take hours upon hours upon hours. And what's the design about that is so that really nobody sees anything. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies, but I'm very pleased about this one because when I advertised them, the two women, bless, when I advertise them, you know what? They're not scared. Okay, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. They didn't give a shout. There we are, and that's what I loved about it. You know what I mean? And I never just listened to one of their videos. There we are. I listened to a few of them. Do you see what I mean? I thought, you know what? You women there now then, there we are on my song sheet. You see what I mean? Because this one here now then, there we are. He's damn well telling it the way it is. Now for myself, personally, I'm not being nasty. Cuban, yes, but we go under the leadership again, okay? So they're made to be like poor, but only certain places, you know, for the old tourists, you know what I mean? Mad little babies, okay? But they're under the same regime for what, how many decades, whatever o'clock, 30 years, is it? So this one here now then, I took one look at, there we are, I've got an itch. I took one look at your man here. I never liked the look at him. Look at the keep a handle on it. I never look at this man and thought I like the look at him. Not in that way, not in that way. No. Because they're all putrid. If you're doing that to your population and you know that you're keeping them poor and yet your damn self and your damn wife, your wife, and I'm pretty sure your family now, mind you, his family got into a bit of trouble, didn't they, with the old drugs? Anyway, only from what I heard. I do not know because I do not know. So I'm just saying what I'd heard, okay? The fact of the matter is if you're doing this to your populations, you shouldn't be done doing it. Because you know, there we are, that you're doing wrong, and yet you're eating full and good now, isn't it? Full and wholesome. But you're not full and wholesome. And anyway, this leads me to saying, so that's a good video to listen to, my delicious babies. But anyway, going back to this morning, okay, very early this morning, I was listening to our lovely Not In That Way, Not In That Way, our lovely Charlie Ward show, okay? And the video was uploaded to myself, you know, because I have notifications for, you know, my who I'm subscribed to, and which are not a lot. Anyway, and he reckons, bless, I mean, I do not know, I'm just saying that Venezuelan, what's his name, Maduro, well, apparently this has been debunked because apparently, there we are, he was arrested, there we are, years ago. So this has all been brought out, you know. Well, I should imagine, it's not what dear Charlie said, but I should imagine, there we are, it's to be a distraction, maybe. Okay, my delicious little babies. Anyway, that's all I heard, my delicious babies. I do not know because I do not follow. All I know is, okay, if you are not doing right by a country, whether it's England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Spain, it could be anywhere, Austria, wherever, and beyond, Germany, Italy. If you're not doing right by your country, the fact of the matter is, really, everybody, and this is what I believe in, okay? Not that I'm inciting anything, I'm just giving my opinion, my humble opinion, okay? I'm a woman with a view, I haven't said that for a while. I shall have my effing view. And my view is, bang them all out. And furthermore, forget about the damn paperwork that we cannot get rid of this shat. Yes, we can get rid of them. F them out. Get damn well rid of them. Because the day of a shake of the hand, okay, and I was around businessmen for nearly 10 years, okay, the day of shake a hand, you shake on it and you honour what you say and you honour what you do. There we are. Went out the window decades ago, my delicious babies. And then they say, these all around the world, then they turn around and say, oh, well, we cannot get rid of the governments. We cannot get rid of... There we are. Yes, you damn well can. And never to put another damn government in bloody office again. Because if they are just going to make us hungry and starve us of food, starve us of gas, starve us of electric. I'm going through it myself, my delicious babes. Right? You got to just find the change, ka-ching, ching, ching, you know what I mean? To put in the damn machines, isn't it? I mean, I'm not blaming me damn machines. They're not damn, but you know what I mean? Mind you, somewhere else has got a damn, haven't they, my delicious little babies? You know what I mean? There we are, and it's just about to effing break. Anyway, my delicious babies, because I've got a few things to show you before I go. You should know myself by now. So thank you so very much for any views, for any likes. Bless you. How I love you also, okay? You know I love you. I'm not shouting at you, my delicious babies. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm just done. There we are, telling it the way it is. There we are. And if ones just do not like it, well, it's not really my problem, is it? At the end of the day, do you know what I mean? Anyway, next one, my delicious babies. So this is... it's called In the Old Space by my delicious little babies. Capital T, the space, capital H, hidden, space, capital E, empire. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, I'll just repeat that again for you, shall I? So, the space, hidden space empire. This uploader happens to have 9.22 thousand subscribers, and the video should read, this is just over 20 minutes long, the Rothschild family's darkest secret. Yes. Now, what this is all about, my delicious little babies, so we're not surprised, are we? We're not surprised. Okay, so it seems to myself, the way that, there we are, that I'm reading it, maybe I'm illiterate in some way. I'm certainly not, okay? Maybe it's a slight, there we are, sarcasm, okay? I am not, okay? We have to look at a pattern here. So if you look at the Rothschilds, of course, they're connected to whoever else, okay? We know the drill, okay? My delicious babies. Well, of course, you can keep it. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. So you can keep it in family, my delicious babies, okay? But eventually, it's like breaking an egg. There we are. It's like breaking an egg, isn't it? So you break an egg, then it drops on the floor. So really, you could scoop it up, but it's never going to be the same, is it, my delicious little babies? So there's a slight bit of schizophrenia here now, then. You know what I mean? My delicious babies, okay? Of course, there's millions who know about the Rothschilds, okay? We all know about the Rothschilds, but there's a particular video that I want you to just please and thank you listen to a little bit of time out your day and night with any of the videos I advertise, my delicious babies, now then. So what's my point to this, what I'm saying? So my point to this, okay, is this, is that where do we see this? Where do we particularly, we need to stop now. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Think it over. Okay, you know that I just have my moments. You know what I mean? Martin babies anyway. So where do we see this? Let's take that we are a very good look, because if you was to look at, say, the original Islam, for what the original Islam, well, according to what you hear over the decades, what it actually stood for was very different to the Islam now. Let's just look at that, Martalish babies, okay? If you look at the Jewish, okay, the way that they lived, okay, you're going over the decades, Martalish babies, okay, to how they're living now. If you look at, let's just say Muslim, they pray 5 times a day. Now, I could be slightly wrong here. I do not believe I am, actually. But then you have the Jewish who pray 3 times a day. Okay, Martish babies, right? So this is not me having a pop at anyone. I'm just pointing something out now. But if you look at the Muslim, okay, and the Islam, they tend to stick to their own, don't they? So they can have the cousins can marry each other, you know, the niece and the uncle. That's, to me, it's all dirty business. And you have the Jewish, you know, because they like to keep it in the family. So they do the same. Okay. Well, these Rothschilds do the same. Are you following? There we are. What I'm telling you, my delicious babies, what I'm explaining to you. Okay. Because if you look at the, oh, sorry, we have to include the Amish there. Okay. Because they're the damn same, isn't it? So you have one older man and he's watching a little baby grow up. Now, in some of the religions, they do that. In others, they'll give him a little bit of time to grow, but others are just dirty fucking paedophiles. There we are. And they just want them young, isn't it? But others will at least allow them, you know, to pass puberty. That something's making me say all this. To pass puberty, and then, oh, you know, they may look all. What was that song? She was only 16, only 16. I loved her so, but she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know, except for. And I was too old to know. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So we can look in many, there we are, different religions. So this is not myself being prejudiced or racist. I'm just saying there seems to be a pattern. And I actually was listening to a rabbi the other day,